The story starts with a boy lying on the ground, his hands severed and blood pooling around him. His eye is injured, and a fly buzzes nearby. Then, the scene shifts to the boy's childhood, where he asks his dad if they can catch the fly. His dad replies that it's not an easy task and that they often fail, just like in life. At that moment, the boy is recording sounds with his tape recorder, capturing all the special moments he loves. The scene changes to a lab where a severed hand is taken out of a fridge. A man in the lab tries to catch it, but the hand escapes through the window. This hand is separated from its body. It is now on a journey to reunite with its owner. The hand explores the city and its streets, feeling its way around since it cannot see. The body it belongs to is that of Nofil, who dreamed of being an astronaut and a pianist as a child, but not all dreams come true. Today, he was out with his family, feeling really happy and capturing moments on video. However, he distracted his dad, which led to a car accident. Sadly, both his mom and dad died in the crash, but he managed to survive. During the accident, a fly was buzzing around his car, and it seemed to be talking into Nofil's microphone. After losing his parents, he had to move in with his uncle in France. Meanwhile, a hand felt trapped somewhere, like a pigeon trying to protect its nest and eggs. To save itself, the hand ended up killing the pigeon and fell into a trash bin. To escape, it used a can to hide and made its way to a train station where it was bothered by many rats. The hand found safety by showing them fire. After leaving the station, it came across a crane. In the story, Nofil grows up and starts delivering pizzas. One day, he goes to deliver pizza to a girl named Gabriel, whom he had never met in person because he always communicated with her through the building's intercom. During their conversations, she mentioned that she liked houses made of ice, and Nofil found himself liking her too. Meanwhile, because of the rain, the hand was resting inside a pipe. It is now waiting for the rain to stop there. It was attacked by a lot of ants at this point, and the hand fell into the water as a result. He had to use a ball in the water to help him get out of there. He had just left, so a dog had pulled him out of there with a new issue. The owner of the dog was blind, so he could not see the hand in the dog's mouth. That hand in the dog's mouth then travels to the blind man's home in this manner. In his house, that blind man was playing the piano. The hand recalls Nofil's desire to become a pianist upon hearing this. Specifically, he desired to become a pianist as a child. The man's hand was erroneously about to touch my hand as I was thinking all of these thoughts. That hand saves itself from there with difficulty and takes it away. Nofil now travels to a new location by following Gabriel's structure. This was the house of Gabriel's newsgirl uncle, who used to make furniture. Outside his house, it was written on the board that he has a job. He talks to Nofil about the job, how he will work here, and how many times he will get to meet Gabriel. Now, Uncle didn't want to hire him because he didn't have work experience in this field. But when he finds out that Nofil's mom and dad are not there, he keeps him at home along with work. Nofil had now left his uncle's house and started living here. Gabriel had now become his friend, and he quickly picked up the entire process. Nofil had now made a wooden igloo for him on the roof of the building near his house. Because Gabriel had previously informed him that he enjoys living in an igloo. His friend is now with him. The two of them discuss fate while perched atop this building. And Nofil asks his friend, "Can we change our fate by doing something risky?" The girl inquires. For example, Nofil tells him that it is like jumping from this building to the crane in front of this building. Can our destiny change if we do this? They end the conversation without providing an answer. Additionally, they enter the igloo together. Nofil opens the box of pizza and tells him that they have met before. Nofil tells him his story that how he liked Gabriel while talking on the phone. Additionally, he arrived here and began working with his uncle. Gabriel gets upset to hear all this, because he believes that Nofil has exploited the goodness of his innocent uncle. Gabriel's thought also deeply saddened Nofil, who was trying to get to him. He went to see his cousin as a result, where he tells his story to his cousin and drinks a lot of alcohol. In this intoxication of alcohol, he also fights with his voice. His fight resulted in an injury to his eye, and that's why he didn't go to work the next day. We were seeing a fly close to his eye at this point. A flying umbrella helped Abraham get to the roof of the building in front of the crane as well, where Nofil had made igloo. And while passing through that building, he finally reached Nofil in his present. That is, his hand reached his body. When he comes here, he remembers the times he was separated from his body. At that time, Nofil was cutting wood from the crane. At that time, a fly comes and sits on the wood. Nofil, who was fond of catching flies, his concentration increases. His watch also gets stuck in the crane during all of this. And in this way, his hand gets cut from where he was wearing a watch. Nofil slips and hits the ground. And from here, the same thing was being shown that was being shown in the beginning of the movie. That is, Nofil was lying there, and the ground was covered in blood. In the present scene, his hand had fallen on Nofil's bed, where there was a bandage on his cut arm. He wanted to return his hand to where it belonged. However, the bandage prevented him from joining. That's why now he hides under his bed. Nofil was very depressed because of the cut hand. He was very worried about his cut hand. Because of all this, he was not even talking to Gabriel's uncle, who, as his new master, adored him greatly. Gabriel also comes to meet him. However, he cannot locate him in the room. In the kitchen, Gabriel sees a small igloo in the cabin, which was made of sugarcane. Actually, it was made by Nofil's cut hand. To locate him, Gabriel goes to the second building's igloo, which Nofil had made for him. He doesn't find Nofil there, but he does find his recorder. With the new recording, Gabriel finds out that he has jumped on the crane, as he said while talking about his fate. From here, Nofil was also shown sitting on the crane, who was content to gaze alone at the city. A scene from his childhood is shown here, when he was playing in the middle, where his hand was left on the sand, with which this story ends. However, one question remains: what was the fly's role in this story? In point of fact, the fly was always displayed at a point in Nofil's life when he had no control over it. Instead, he was in charge of his own destiny. He had a fly in his car, just like on the day of his family's accident. He was watching from afar on the day of his fight with his sons. And the third time he had a fly on the cut of his hand. In the middle, where Gabriel was talking to Nofil about whether they could change their fate by doing something risky. He gets the answer that they can't play with fate when he jumps on the crane at the end of the story. His life was unaffected by jumping on the crane and playing with so many dangers. And with all this, the explanation ends here. Give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more exciting stories.